Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reality Bang. I'm RJ Yohann, your host for the show, and thank you for tuning in. That said, if you guys want to contribute to our topics, have any questions, or just want to tell us what an amazing job we're doing, you can reach out to us at 6364252164. Now let's jump right into the topics. Today's topic is youth and fear factor. Our guest for the show is Kaylyn. It's a pleasure to have you. For this edition of the Reality Bang, Kaylyn and I will discuss the fears of youth and give you guys our viewpoints on each of them. So, our very first fear is the fear of rejection. Now, the fear of rejection doesn't have to be, only relationships or jobs, even. It can be fear of literally anything. So, let's just say you want to, get into a friendship with someone, then you just go and approach them and you ask them like, yo, can I be your friend? And you're afraid of this. Many of the youth today are afraid of this sudden rejection that they will be denied. I mean, the worst a person can say is no. They're not going to, even if they insult you, which my guest for the show will be talking about later on. But even if they insult you, there's not much of damage they can do. It's not a really, uh, you know, a very important fear that is, going to take over your life, because fear of rejection does exist, but then again, it's very overcome. You can overcome it very easily. And even for relationships, even like the worst she can say is no. The worst he or she can say is no. It's not that bad. But the fear of jobs, like being rejected for a job, like let's just say you get your interview for your dream job, and then suddenly, you come to know like, oh yeah, they have rejected you after the interview process. Okay, that can hurt a bit, but then again, the best thing is like, not give up, keep moving forward. You will get a yes eventually. So to get the yes, you have to be willing to go through, 100 no's. That's a very popular term that a very important man once said. To get the one yes, you have to be willing to go through 100 no's. Now, coming over to our second fear, Kaylyn, would you please guide us through the second fear?
That is the fear of uncertainty, basically not knowing what you have in your future, what's going to come to you. So basically, you have to be prepared for anything. Take your step forward. Don't have any regret, because having that regret, you're just gonna like, you're just not gonna do it, and then you're gonna like go into the future and be like, why I never done that or something like that. So yeah, so don't have that regret. Just go ahead for whatever it is. There's going to be a good cause, or I mean, not good cause. It's just going to be a good
Experience,
and
right?
bad experience. Yeah, that's all.
So, in other words, just, always make sure you take that first step, Like, just say you guys want to start a business, like later on in the future. Keelan and I, we were just having this conversation on the ride away. We were like, see, if you guys are going to start a business, we should not, just keep the ideas for the futuristic purpose. If we have to start, we should start right now, plan everything, get everything in order, and then go. It doesn't matter how the future is going to turn out. As long as you keep your plan, you're willing to adapt to it, changes are going to happen. You do not know how the future is going to turn out. The changes are going to happen, but you learn to, adapt to such things. Which brings me over to my third fear. So the third fear is fear of being alone, or rather they call it monophobia. So this fear is specifically when, people are isolated, youths are isolated, and which, could lead to certain mental health illnesses like, depression, and which lead to suicide. So fear of being alone, like I would say it's rather kind of in a small number. Like not many people or not many youths today are afraid of being alone, because let me tell you, being alone is one of the best things you can do if you want to, self improve. If you want to, take time to, think exactly what you want to do in your future, or what you want to do in the following months, or what you want to do in the following days. So being alone will actually help you to, think properly. It'll open a whole, what do you say, a new mindset.
Basically, time for yourself. And
Yeah,
like
a
time to
lot of
heal
time
and
for
all that.
yourself. Exactly, a lot of
Yeah.
time for yourself. And you can actually think properly, and you can plan everything properly. So being alone
Yeah.
is not really a bad thing.
Yep.
Especially in the lockdown, like many people were alone. Many people, like,
Were alone for a long time.
yeah, for a very long
And
time.
being alone can also attract people who actually will be close to you and will actually help you, rather than just being very social and having fake people around you.
Exactly. So being alone will rather, attract the real people in your life, and it'll keep away
Yeah.
the fake people. So, what is the fourth fear about, Kaylin?
So the fourth fear is like basically the target of being
Bullied.
bullied and all that.
Okay.
So I actually, what do you say? We had this friend of ours, so he used to get bullied a lot. I mean, we still bully him and all, but it's rather than having him in that bad phase of bullying while we try to bully him and like
So this, in other words,
just
is
like
just
irritate him and
sort
like
of like
yeah,
a
just to get his mind off it. So yeah,
yeah, because he's been going through a bad
yeah,
kind of what do you say, a bad place in his life. He has had breakups. He has had a lot of bad things happen in his life. Like every single thing he has ever done was, it ended in failure. Literally ended in failure, and he was
yeah.
really in a bad spot. So we
So he was
invited him
getting
to
socially bullied,
yeah,
then just getting bullied by his classmates and all people who hated him. So
yeah,
yeah,
and that's when we invited to a football game, and we had a lot of fun, and we kind of cheered him up. So being a target of bully, like what do I say, like most of you guys are going to find yourself in this situation. There are obviously going to be some jerks who do not like you. Let me tell you this: they bully you because they know you're better than them in something. They're
yeah,
not going to bully you for literally nothing. If you're nobody, they're not going to care. They're going to leave you alone. But if you're somebody, if you're a threat to their existence, a threat to whatever they do in school, college, workplace, anything, if you're a threat to them, they will bully you because they do not want you to get become higher or get greater in anything you do. They do
yeah,
not want you to succeed. The reason why they're bullying you is because they're below you in the first place. So just always remember
yep,
that. So which brings me to the fifth fear of being pressured to do something like you do not want to do, or peer pressure in other words. So in this category, a very small percentage of youths actually fall into this category. Now, let's just say you do not want to. I'll give you an example. Say if you go for a trip, okay, there's a waterfall, like a nice lake there. There's a cliff edge over there, and all of your friends they jump and they're shouting from the lakeside, and they're like jump in, jump in. Now, sometimes peer pressure actually leads you to, what do you say, break your fears. If you have a fear of heights, you're not going to do it. You're
yep,
definitely not going to do it. But then these guys here, they're like, jump, it's perfectly fine. We are alive, and then you can do it. So sometimes peer pressure will lead you to, break fears. But most of the time, like when it's, something negative, let's just take a person who hates you. They hate you, they have ill intent towards you, and they are pressuring you to do something or make some really stupid investments into some places. Do not follow that, because you do not want to end up in a failing position. They are going to tell you this is the same thing as bullying. They are going to tell you stuff because they are below you. They do not want you to go higher than them. They want you to stay below them. So sometimes peer pressure will make you break your limits, but then most of the time it's just you know going to destroy you in the end, and it's going to cause you to make a lot of bad decisions.
basically people will try shutting you out or you'll basically shut yourself out.
Exactly. So peer pressure from very close people. I mean, let's just say your very close friends, your brothers, people who you consider your brothers or sisters, like that. They are not going to do it in the ill intent of harming you in any way. They just want you to overcome something. So it can be looked at as two ways, but always be sure who's putting you into peer pressure. If it's anyone, your enemies, even as I said, people who have ill intent towards you, like do not ever fall for that ever. So our sixth and final fear, sorry about that, is the fear of failure. Kaylin, would you walk us through this?
So basically the fear of failure is like you're gonna have a lot of failures in your life, you're gonna fail, but without fail you can never succeed. So I mean without failing you can never succeed. So yeah, so you should always push yourself to do something even though you know there's gonna be a failure at the end. Like keep trying for it, keep going for it, because you know that one day you will achieve it, you'll get that win or that success to it. So don't give up, keep going for it. So yeah,
So I'll add on a little bit more to what you said. I'll give you an example from my life. So very recently there was a tournament going on. It was for 5 rounds, so I basically was down by 4 rounds, and I had to do something in order to get the win. So I'll tell you, I'll connect this with the previous point as well, the peer pressure part. So one of my very good friends, so she forced me, like, in order for you to get this win in the final round, you have to push yourself beyond what you're capable of. It just takes one. One is more than enough for you to win. And even my coach, he was like, okay, you have to do this. If you don't do it, it's all over. It's all over for the gym. It's all over for everything. So you got to push past your limits, and you got to do it. So in that moment, like, I'm down by 4 rounds. I lost every single round, and it's the final round. How am I supposed to win? So I'm very close to failure at this point. And these guys, they're pressuring me to in order to win this. So that's when I went in, and for 2 minutes, I was literally getting my ass kicked. And then coming over to the third minute, that's when it started improving. I could start seeing things a lot more better. I started reacting a lot more quicker, and that's when the final blow was delivered, and that's when I actually won. And I got my trophy, I got my medal, everything was good. And my team members, they were very happy. And I even thanked every one of them, like, who pushed me in order to do that. See, failure is a part of your life. Every single time you fail, think about it in this sense. I'll take the same thing. So every step of the way, as you fail, always remember you're going to come close to success. So take the 100 no's to get one yes. So you have to fail 100 times in order to get that one success. And I'll tell you that one success is not going to be anything small. It's going to be obviously huge, because if you're willing to fail 100 times just to get that one, you will be willing to put yourself through more and more and more and more, and you will get that success. So I always say failure is a stepping stone to success. Kaylin, would you like to add anything more?
Yeah, I'll just say, like, don't let failure be your downfall. As he said, don't let like, just don't stop after one failure. Keep going for it. Don't let it be a downfall. That's all I can add to it. So yeah.
And there's also a very important quote. It says, don't let fear cloud your mind. Find the courage and forge ahead. And with that, that brings us to the end of today's show. Thank you, Kaylin, for joining the show. Remember, guys, we air on Mondays at 4:30 p.m. That's it. I would love to hear your feedback, ideas, and insights. If you want to get in contact with us, do reach out to 6364 252164. According to 2 Timothy 1:7 says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self control. A huge thank you to our listeners for tuning in to this edition of the Reality Bang, your weekly dose of youth power brought to you by FEBA Online. This is Yohann. Hope you're having an amazing week, an amazing Monday, and I'll see you next week. God bless you.